back to the Mars of War, God of Mars action, God Mars of War, War Mars of God, God Mars of Mars. It's one of those.
Playfield perched precariously, playfield perched precariously, playfield perched precariously. Oh, you son of a...
He should be good. I'll test his ohms. And, ow, that's sharp. So, oh, that was cute. Ooh, yeah, don't want to short anything out there. I'm Mike Dimas, and this is Pinball Shenanigans. Welcome back to episode 3 of Mars God of War Pinball Project. Last episode, got this thing to boot up, and pretty much plays. Left flippers aren't working, but that shouldn't be anything too complicated. So I'm just going to putter around for a little bit and kind of fix things as I go. Probably should LED this bad boy, but should probably work on mechanical stuff first. Rebuilding mechs and adjusting switches, testing switches, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, when I power it on, this solenoid fires, which is a little odd, because when I just powered it on now, there's a ball in the saucer there, and it kicked the ball out into the shooter lane upon power up. That ain't right. And there's not 11 balls in play, so maybe there's some garbage in the memory or something. Or maybe there's no memory at all, because the battery is removed from that board, so I don't think there's NVRAM. So I think we need to install a button battery possibly on the CPU. So I'm going to start tinkering this display, see if I can get that digit going. There's something funky happening with the first. See how the 7 just showed up there? Why did that 7 just show up there? Did you see that? Yeah, right there. Why is it doing that? Is that like... I see. That's high score to date. Right, okay. So it's saving something, or that might just be memory garbage. Alright, well, I think I'm going to get started. And, yeah, alright, let's let the shenanigans ensue. Okay, first issue I'm going to start with is, well, firstly, I added a couple credits. Even though it said there was 11 credits in there, I hit the start button, it didn't boot up. Added a few credits, and then it did allow me to start a game. With the ball in the shooter lane, somehow 500 points were scored, and then the background noise cut out. So I'm hitting the play field, and I'm getting some points. So we have to find what switch is a little too sensitive, and for whatever reason cutting out the sound. But I kind of feel like if I hit another switch, the sound should come back, the background sound. No, it does not. Oh, well, let's try this. Oh, it liked that. Okay, so when I drain, I bet you I'll get my background sound back. Yeah, so can you hear that? So let's bang the playfield. Get 500 points and lose our background sound. That's fun. So I'll go investigating. Okay, so I'm trying to get into switch tests so I can bang the playfield and see if I can determine which switch is activating. So you got to hit the test button on the front door and then press the credit button, and then you advance to step 18, which is switch test. If all switches are open, which it should be, 99 will appear on the status display. If one or more are closed, there assigned matrix number will appear in the display. Okay, I've got it on 18. Well, it was 18. Let's hit this again. 15, 19. What? That looks like 18. So let's hit a switch. So does that mean 84? Switch 84 is closed. Is there actually... Oh, wait. Just said 30. So that... Now it should go back to 99. No? Or it should just display the last closed switch. Well, let's try this guy over here. Now it says all switches are open. So, I don't know. It's behaving a little strange. Or is it just me? He just said, Earthling, I am supreme. Okay, I'm trying to hit other switches to see what happens here. Okay, kind of is actually working now. Let's bang the playfield, but problem is, ooh, 71. I think we're onto something. And maybe 11. Okay, I gotta go find out what switch number 71 is. Alright, I found the switch assignment chart in the manual, and 71 is the right extra ball target. Okay. That's this guy. So it went back into attract mode. If you're in a test for 60 seconds or more, then it will automatically go back to attract mode. So I will just adjust this guy and see if when I bang the playfield that I stop getting 500 points. Well, I removed the plastic and that switch does not look too close from the top side. Maybe from underneath, maybe something's going on there. But I did remove that plastic and checked to see if I had a better one, because this is the first one. It is pretty chewy. The second one I found a little bit better. And the third one, I'd say even a smidge better. So this will be the winner of the plastic battle. But I don't know, this thing just seems to be weird. So I think I'm going to change the CPU with hopefully one that I have that's compatible. Alright, I'm back in the basement. I haven't been down here for about 4 days, so gotta get back to the action. A couple days ago I met up with Kurt in St. Thomas, who donated these decent looking Mars God of War drop targets and one extra spare. So thank you very much, Kurt. And on top of that, he gave me this, which is something he 3D printed and painted, and it is based off of the art on the playfield and plastics, etc. It is a cool spaceship. This is the one that they were talking about in the manual that kind of was a Star Wars ripoff. Not in the manual, but Internet Pinball Database. But yeah, that's pretty sweet. So maybe he'll go right there. Also, Barry, fellow shenanigander, has offered up a few drop targets. I think I'm going to take him up on that. I just sent him a message. So between the 10 used drop targets, I'll pick the best 8. And that should be good. Otherwise, I'm going to start working on these issues. Oh, also, Kurt mentioned that this up-down ramp is supposed to start in the up position. And I didn't even realize it was an up-down ramp, really. I guess I did, because I have these parts, extra set of these parts that over there in my parts pile. But I didn't even notice that it wasn't working. Kurt did, so good eye. I'll have to check some transistors out and see what's going on with that. But yeah, so back to the Mars of War, God of Mars action, God Mars of War, War Mars of God, God Mars of Mars. It's one of those. Oh, and Mark in City, I found a spot for the Houdini side art. Just kind of magnetized to my fridge. It was not easy finding a spot, but there it is. All right, I got the hood lifted up. Gonna inspect this switch here to make sure that the switch contacts are clean, and look what I found. This is very common on your this era Gottlieb games. These little quick connects, they lose their tension, the clips break, and they pop off. So it's recommended that you just hard wire these, just solder them right on, because you're not going to really ever change your flipper switch like this using quick connects, right? That was like maybe an operator thing. That is not the intention for this game. This is probably going to be more of a home use game, but you never know. Anyway, bottom line is Mars is trying to pick a fight with me. But yeah, bottom line, best thing to do is solder these guys right on. So I'm going to do that on both flippers. All right, one side is done. That's much better. And cleaned up the switch contacts with my file. They're a little shinier now, kind of hard to see. And also, you really do need to Dremel these old tabs before you solder, because look at the difference. Can you see it? There we go. That gives you a fresh base for solder to stick to. And for whatever reason, my little clip here is not screwed in, so I'll bust out a screw and put that back to its happy place right there. Okay, so I just put my screw in this wire bundle clip, and now I understand why it was removed, because look, the tilt bob is disconnected completely. So I don't know what the F this is, but these wire colors don't line up to these wire colors. So I guess that's not for those, but I need to find my tilt wires. Where the hell did they go? So that's strange. Well, this must be it. Oh, it actually is, yeah. So this little thing, which I didn't recognize before, that's the reason, because it's not original pinball part for this game. Anyway, I'll clip these suckers off and reattach that. There is possibly a reason why they did that. Hopefully not electrical. Hopefully they just didn't like tilting. And also on this side, I got this guy all done. Much better. Cleaned up the contacts, rewired the wire that was broken off of the knocker. They didn't like knocking and they didn't like tilting. I mean, that's half a pinball, damn it. If you don't like knocking and tilting, then you should pick up tiddlywinks. Okay, I'm gonna turn on the machine just to see if the knocker locks on, and maybe that's why they disconnected it. I think we're good. Okay, so next up is getting the tilt wired back up. My back is getting sore already, hunched over doing all this crap, but this is done. That's better. So again, let's power on the machine, see if anything good or bad happens. But Gottlieb, when you power on the machine, it's very common for these System 80s to give you this power on thunk. So for Mars God of War specifically, it likes to thunk this solenoid, or is it this one? It might be this one, which kicks the ball into the shooter lane. I was having that issue before. But it turns out on Kurt's Mars God of War, it does the exact same thing. So it is not only common to Gottlieb System 80s for the power on thunk, but it is common to Mars God of Wars is to do a power on thunk, kicking a ball into a shooter lane thing. So, all right, so the game looks like it's booted up. Doesn't look like it's stuck in tilt or anything like that. Let's start the game. No, it's not going to want me to start it. Actually, I have had issues with it starting. 1 second. Yeah, probably just because the balls weren't in the trough, but let's just see what happens if we got working flippers, if we got any weird switch matrix issues with wiring up the tilt bob. No. Okay, so this is the weird thing. It says I've got 11 credits, but it's lying. Or no, a ball 11 in play. It said I had, what, 10 credits? Interesting. 18 credits is max. Anyway, even though you think there's credits in there, it doesn't let you start a game. So now it should let me. Voila. Okay, next test, flippers. Yeah. Then next test. That's pretty cool. I like that. Okay, so that's back up and running. All right, next I gotta figure out this up-down ramp. I think that's what I'm gonna work on now. Okay, I was just tarking to Mock in City. I was just talking to Mark in City, and he thought that my Mars God of War had red displays, but maybe he was thinking of the red infinity lights. But there is a Mars God of War listed that has green displays. Mine are just your standard blue. But my apron is green. So why is that? It is because Gottlieb uses these green covers on some games. So I have a collection of them, mostly all broken, and various different greens. So I probably won't put these on because you got to staple them on. They're a bit of a pain in the butt. And that barely even looks any different. That's probably so faded green, or maybe that's actually blue. Do I have something greener? Yeah, so I think I probably won't bother changing these back to what I'm guessing is original. I'll have to take a look and see if Mars God of War came with these green covers or not. I'm going to assume that it did, but yeah, that's something. Oh, and obviously the reason my display digits are green is because that I must have one of those on there. Since I was talking about displays, I thought I would see if I could fix player number 4. Check it out. The one digit that was missing is now back. So I just reseated that connector a couple times, and now all 4 displays are pretty darn near perfect. Oh, this one has a little bit flickeriness going on there. Might as well reseat that guy and number 2. Do them all. Okay, let's have a look at this up-down ramp coil. Mechanically, it looks okay. I don't really see any wires off. The coil wrapper does look a little bit toasty, but that's probably because it does hold the ramp up and probably get a little warm. Oh, and that's why it is a double wound coil. One for holding the ramp up and one for firing the ramp up. So it's basically like a flipper. You flip the flipper, get the initial power, and then you hold the flipper and the low power kicks in. So makes sense why that has 3 lugs for the 2 different voltages. Anyway, speaking of voltages, we've got to measure our voltage here at the coil, and we're supposed to have, holy shit, okay, that I don't exactly know what happened there. I didn't think I leaned on the flipper button, but I must have. Okay, we need 24 or 38 volts to show up on the coil lug. DC, not getting anything. So you can compare to like this guy here. There's our 24 volts. Over here on another pop bumper, 24 volts. And drop target bank, 24 volts. So we are not getting our voltage. So that means we don't necessarily need to blame the coil or the mechanics. I think we're gonna trace back to the transistor responsible for this coil and investigate that next. Oh, and I almost forgot. Went to test this coil, and it's a little bit rough shape. It's not giving me the voltage either, is it? Let's see. No. So that's an A1496. Might have one of those. Maybe I'll go on a little side tangent and replace that. All right, digging deep into the well, and I need a 1496. I found this guy, but he's got a broken leg. Found this guy. Oh, he's got a broken winding. And then I found this guy. 1496. Does he got a good winding? He should be good. I'll test his ohms. And, ow! That's sharp. And then I'll install it. Okay, I measured a similar one in the machine. I had about 3.6 or 7 ohms. This one is 3.1, so it's probably within spec. I'm sure that's fine. Let's try this other guy. 3.2, same. Okay, so we're good to go. Okay, I ended up on another side tangent. Just thought I would check these fuses while I was in here. And F18 was not testing good. The rest were testing fine. I have to check all the values on these. I'm assuming they're probably mostly off, so I'll do that after. But just to confirm, pulled out the fuse, and let's see what we get. Gonna practice my chopsticks. Yeah, that's on there good. I'm not hearing any beeping on my meter, so that could be the issue. Let's go see what that fuse does. Well, side note, A1496 kicking pop bumpers are 2.95 ohms, so we are definitely in spec there. F18, what do you think it does? F18, boom, does the ramp. So, question is, why did the fuse blow? Probably because, I don't know. I'm asking you, you tell me. Probably because it holds the ramp up and the coil gets hot, and eventually that fuse gets a little worn and torn. So that just might be the solution. So I'm going to replace that fuse, replace that coil, and be right back. All right, so I've got this guy cleaned up, spring cleaned, doing some spring cleaning, get it? This sleeve is pretty bad. That's going in the junk pile. This is all the shrapnel from today so far. Nice new sleeve. This is the old coil. So the lug is broken, but it actually tests fine. So this coil is good in case of emergency. I could probably just like maybe even crazy glue the lug back on there. So I'm not gonna toss that just yet. And the coil stop was loose, so I tightened that. I filed down the edge there. I filed down the plunger tip and got this guy all wired in. with a new diode, and that should be all good to go. So after that, I'll deal with the fuses and check all the values. I have my playfield very precariously perched in the upright position. That might be a new tongue twister. And yeah, I don't really trust it all that much, but it gives me better access to the underside of the playfield. So these two fuses are supposed to be 1 amp, one was 5 amp, and the other one was correct. All these other fuses are supposed to be 2 amp, 2 were correct, and the rest were 3 amp. So I replaced all but 3 of those fuses. And hopefully now this guy works and this guy works. So I'm gonna lower the playfield and see what we get.
Playfield perched precariously, playfield perched precariously, playfield perched precariously. Oh, you son of a...
So I just powered on the machine and I saw the up-down ramp go up and then right back down. So I thought I might have blown a fuse, so I turned it off immediately, and then I checked the fuse. It seems fine. So that could have been due to the old power on thunk. We've got staples underneath the mylar there. So I'm going to turn it on again. As long as it doesn't lock on, then we should be okay, but it probably was just a power on thunk. Here we go. Gotta love that. Gottlieb power on thunk. Okay, so in theory, if I press the start button, that ramp should go up. Add a credit, because that's a lie. I've got it turned right down, by the way, because that background noise can get into your brain. It just goes on and on. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Everything seems to be okay. Just took a couple attempts to get the ball. Maybe the balls weren't resting into the out hole very well. So, we got to test this slingshot too now. Test this ramp first. Definitely not as cool without the sound. Oh, Kurt told me you need to knock down these targets to activate this war base / lock. So that should lock. Yeah. Oh, the gate or the ramp went down.
Stargate for hyperforce.
Shoot Stargate for hyperforce. Okay, now I remember that. Where's my background sound? Now I miss it. Let's see. It's gone. Okay, so now if we knock these guys down.
Floor base, right. Fence is destroyed.
We can shoot it up in there. Oh, I guess you could potentially fluke the ball in that way, or go the old-fashioned way. Oh, there's our sound effects. So that should lock ball too. Oh no, that is where you lock the ball. Never mind. But there it is. We've got multi-ball. We've lost multi-ball. Oh, see that? Slingshot. Okay, let's lock a ball in the other saucer this time. Actually, let's go for 3-ball multi-ball.
Floor base, right. Secured.
Score base right, secured.
Stargate.
So that's called the Stargate ramp, not the Infinity ramp, which I called it before. Pops are pretty happy. Okay, here's the sling. Oh yeah. Freshly shot that sling. Oh, that's cool. That was a nice little trifecta. Why is it when you touch the spinner, the sound effect comes on and goes off? Alright, anyway, may not have anything to do with the spinner. Sound is definitely needing to be addressed.
4 bays left. Defense is destroyed.
Defense is destroyed. So, oh, I see. This light bulb is just out here, so that should
4
lock
bays
there.
Left. Secured.
Just getting excited
Stargate.
and
Hyperforce.
not excited anymore. Okay, so this is for the 3-ball multi-ball action. Couple pop bumper lights out, I see. Okay, ready?
Hyperforce. 2.
It's attack time. Oh, I've been attacked. And it wasn't good.
Prepare for battle.
I'm digging this game so far. Nice when the flippers work. Very cool. Alright, that is progress. Alright, so I was just thinking that I have no battery on the MPU, so that might be what's going on with the data. I don't know whatever happened to it, but it used to be there. So I suspected when I saw this board initially that these chips were socketed after the fact, and that one as well. So I pulled out a board that I had Brent Butler service for me for my black hole. And as you can see, there are no socketed chips here or here. So they replaced this chip. This is a socketed chip, so that's been replaced on this board. But 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 were replaced on this board. Anyway, I know Brent's work is awesome. It already comes with the button battery, already comes with the ground mod wire ready to go. So I'm going to swap the game ROM and pop this in and just keep this other one for a rainy day, because I want this machine to be as reliable as possible, and this looks like it's had a lot of work done to it. I mean, everything seems to work, but, you know, maybe I just need to add a battery and that's all I need to do. But for now, I'm going to swap boards, and then we'll see if our power on thunk changes behavior. It's more likely to change by changing the driver board, but we'll see about that. And then, I don't know, I'll ask Brent about the soundboard. I may need to send it out to him, we'll see. But let's swap out CPUs. Alright, new board is installed. So, let's power it on, see what happens. Oh, it didn't quite do the same behavior. It didn't go up and down. Does that mean it's locked on? I hope not. Well, let's start a game.
Prepare for battle.
Okay, went back down and back up. Okay. Everything seems to be fine. Okay. Oh, look. 2 credits in ball 1 in play. Now that we got a battery, I think that situation is now resolved. Let's see if we can lose our background sound. I mean, I'm assuming it's not CPU related. No, didn't think so. But I think I'm gonna stick with this board most likely, and then, I don't know, just sock away the other board or sell it or something. It is a working board, but oh, I'll show you. Oh, here's this droning hum. You want to listen to that for 5 minutes? Here you go. I didn't think so. Okay. This board here, I was expecting to see like spaghetti wires all over the back. Oh, there's a little bit. You know what? I think that's a mod to allow a different size game prom, or to like, so that a game that has 2 proms can be condensed to 1. I think that's what that is. Oh yeah, that sound effect just cut out on its own. So there's been quite a bit of work on this board. That chip here looks like it was done. This guy, all these guys, that guy, this guy here. So someone put some effort and energy into this board. These are all clean. So, you know, you might just need a battery to be happy. So I will just set this aside for now. And maybe I'll swap out the driver board too. Okay, this is the refurbed driver board installed. And I have to do the mod to this harness where you add a secondary 5-volt and ground wire in that hole and in those holes, and then that gives you extra security and safety and happiness. But I don't have any of these terminals, which are called bifurcated terminals, and they just don't seem to make them anymore. And if they do, I don't know where to get them. But Corey might have a couple for me. He only has 10 in stock. I'm trying to get him to sell me 4 and meet him at Forked River tonight. And I got to bring him some score reels, so that could work out. But I do want to do that. For now, we're going to turn on this thing and let's see if there's a power on thunk right here again. Oh shit. Stuff is not happening this time around. What am I missing? Interesting. Let's try that again. No. Something ain't right. What it is, I have no idea, so I'm gonna have to fudge around a bit and see what the problem is. Like, this is a PB03D110. PB03D110. Yeah, same board. Alright, I'll be back. Backwards progress, my favorite. Oh, and look at this. Ugh, toasty. So I put the original board back in and everything boots up as it should. And now I have this other board that I had chopped up by Brent. So I'm going to try this one and see what happens next. Alright, driver board number 3. Let's see what happens with this guy. We got the power on thunk as normal, but everything actually boots up this time. Okay, I think I'll just stick with this board because I know it's been serviced by Brent. The original board is fine. It's a little toasty, but it's been repaired, and yeah. There's a little bit of that going on the board I just installed too. A couple jumper wires for some burnt traces. Those transistors can get pretty hot, as you can see there. Looks like this chip was changed too. So I'll leave that in there for now. Eventually I'll tie all these ground wires to right there. Next order of business. What is the next order of business? I don't know. We'll figure that out as we go. Alright, the next order of business is this connector here. This is IDC, and since it's not an edge connector, I can replace it with good old Molex action. Someone did redo these 2 wires with the same strategy that they did on this connector and this connector. But yeah, I'm going to replace this with Molex and make that a lot better. Alright, here's the old connector. Oh, I should steal that sticker off of it and put it on this guy, which is, look at that, much better. Got my key in there and pin number 4. So stick that like that. Yeah, that is much better. Yeah, I think I'll steal that sticker if it's not crazy glued on there. Which reminds me, I did crazy glue this coil lug. Let's see how that worked out. Seems okay. Not gonna like bend it too crazily, but yeah, seems like that worked. So throw that in the coil pile. There we go, that's much better. While I'm at it, I might as well replace these terminals. They're probably 40 years old, so I'll do that while I'm here. Repinned November 2023. That's much better. Stick that in. Oh yeah, way more snug now. Alright, so that's done. Alright, I'm gonna wrap up this video. I was trying to just kind of play a test game, mess around a little bit, and the ball stopped kicking out of the trough. Measured my voltages. I was not getting voltages at some of my coils, but I was at others. I took apart and cleaned these switches and thought it might have been a trough switch issue. So I was going backwards, my favorite type of progress, backwards progress. And I reseated all the connectors on the driver board, and it looks like I'm back in business. Yeah, I didn't have pop bumpers, I didn't have slingshots. There we go. Okay. So I guess it was just a crappy connector. What was that? Kind of like had a very sad sound, like I had drained, but in the middle of the game. Knocker works, by the way. Okay, this is it. One more plunge here for fun. If I get a shot on the right side, then I will flip a ball or two. Whoa. Sound is consistently inconsistent, so that'll be on another episode. Also, I gotta finish up with the ground mods. So, oh, that was cute. Ooh, yeah, don't want to short anything out there. That's not good. Yeah, that's what happens when you play without the apron. And ball 3. Oh, this does not have the green cover on it, by the way. It is a green cover in the apron itself, just a piece of green plastic. I forgot, I think I had that on my black hole as well. Alright, so made some progress, and we'll continue to progress on the next episode. Thanks for watching.